Have you ever loved someone so deeply that it made you feel more alone than ever? Not in a sad way, but in a soul-awakening way. Like your heart was whispering, "This love will grow, but only if you become someone who can carry it." That's the kind of love Rainer Maria Rilke understood. Not the love sold to us in fairy tales, but the kind that transforms you, quietly, painfully, beautifully, from the inside out. Rilke didn't believe love was about completing someone. He believed love begins when two whole people choose not to lose themselves in each other, but to walk side by side, together yet apart. He once wrote, "Love consists in this, that two solitudes protect and touch and greet each other." Let that sink in. Not two people merging into one, not codependency dressed as romance, but two solitudes, two inner worlds, each one vast, independent, full of mystery, choosing to greet one another with reverence. But here's the hard truth no one tells you. Most people don't know how to love like that, because it requires solitude and strength, and the kind of emotional maturity most of us were never taught to cultivate. We were taught to seek validation, to chase someone who texts back fast, to feel complete only when we're chosen. But Rilke asks us to become the kind of person who doesn't need love, because they've already found something deeper, a self they've made peace with in solitude. That kind of person doesn't cling. They don't demand. They don't fall apart when love feels distant, because they've already faced themselves in silence and come back stronger. Rilke's idea of love isn't soft and safe. It's fierce, it's sacred, and it demands your growth. He once warned, "For one human being to love another, that is perhaps the most difficult of all our tasks, the work for which all other work is but preparation." Pause for a moment. Are you preparing for love, or are you escaping into it? Most people seek relationships to avoid the silence of being alone. But Rilke believed real love doesn't begin until you've spent time with your own soul. Because how can you love someone else fully if you've never sat with the parts of yourself you still hide? This is why he didn't romanticize easy love. He praised the kind that matures slowly, the kind that doesn't rush into forever, but honors space, timing, and self-becoming. He wrote to a young poet, "Love is at first not anything that means merging, giving over, and uniting with another. It is a high inducement for the individual to ripen, to become something in himself, to become world for himself for another's sake." In other words, don't fall in love to lose yourself. Fall in love to become yourself more fully. We think closeness means constant contact, but Rilke saw love not in attachment, but in distance well held. The quiet spaces between two people who trust each other enough to grow separately and still choose to come back. Have you ever met someone who made you want to become a better person? That's what Rilke believed love should do. Not fix you, not rescue you, but awaken you to the parts of yourself you've neglected. And here's something beautiful to remember. You can love someone and still need space. You can choose someone and still choose yourself. If that sounds strange, it's because we've been fed a version of love that glorifies merging, sacrificing, and losing ourselves for another person's happiness. But Rilke's love is different. It asks, can you stand alone so that you can stand beside another, not behind them, not beneath them, but beside them, as your full self? That's why solitude isn't the opposite of love. It's the foundation of it. In solitude, you meet your fears. You confront your patterns. You learn who you are when no one is watching. And only then, when your soul is steady, can you offer real love to someone else. Not because you need them to feel whole, but because your wholeness now has room to hold someone else. So if someone ever says, "I just need space," don't panic. Sometimes it's in that space that the deepest kind of love is nurtured. Real love doesn't always look like constant reassurance. It looks like trust. It looks like two people willing to do the hard work of being fully themselves and fully present with each other. It's not always easy, but it's worth it, because love like this doesn't fade. It grows, slowly, quietly, faithfully. And if you're not there yet, if you still feel incomplete, unsure, or unworthy, that's okay. Rilke would tell you, be patient toward all that is unsolved in your heart and try to love the questions themselves. You don't have to rush into love. You can become someone who's ready for the kind of love that's ready for you. So ask yourself today, are you building a love that's loud and needy, or one that's quiet, strong, rooted in the courage to stand alone? The most meaningful love won't always chase you, but it will grow with you. And when you're ready, not perfect but ready, it will find you. You'll know it not by the butterflies, but by the calm. This is how Rainer Maria Rilke taught us to love, not through clinging, not through needing, but through becoming. If this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, because someone else out there is learning to love better too. Maybe today, this was exactly what they needed to hear.